Hey, what's up, y'all, man? It's your boy, y'all's chosen one. We are on Leviticus chapter 11. Sorry about that. Leviticus chapter 11. And, doggone it. We're going to get started here as soon as I get this cord to settle down. Alright, so we're on Leviticus chapter 11. And, chapter 10 was interesting. It shows how the Most High, if you don't do things according to what He says, you can feel the consequences of it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to kick over to Leviticus chapter 11. It's pretty long chapters, 47 verses, so we're going to get right in it, okay? And Yah spake unto Moshe and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Yasharallah, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, it is cloven-footed, cheweth cud among the beasts that shall ye eat. Alright, so whatever their hooves have to be parted, has to be a slit in it, is cloven-footed, and cheweth cud among the beasts that shall ye eat. So you has to be cloven-footed and only can chew the cud. Cud is like the grass and everything is cud, not carnivorous. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. So his hoof is not clean. Although he does chew the cud, for some reason, if they don't have that, split in the hooves, then they're not clean. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. The hare, rabbits, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. So he doesn't have hooves. The swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. So he's very unclean, because if you notice what pigs eat anything. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean. You shouldn't even be anywhere near swine. Shouldn't even be touching swine. These shall you eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall you eat. So you have to have not only fins, but they also have to have scales. And they have to live in the waters and the seas and the rivers. So they have to have fins and scales. You can't have one or the other. You have to have both of them. And all that have not fins nor scales in the seas and the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination to you. So that goes for crawfish, anything, it's catfish, anything like that. Most of the things that my people eat, my people being Hebrew people, or quote-unquote African-American people, the things that they gave us in slavery time, we eat from the rooter to the tutor, but most of that stuff was very unhealthy for us. And all that, they shall be an abomination unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, but you shall have their carcasses in abomination. So shouldn't even be messing with that stuff, man. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in water, that shall be an abomination to you. Shrimp, even though when I was growing up I used to eat it, it's delicious, but it's bad for you. And these are they which ye shall have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle, the ossifrage, and the osprey. So the vulture, the kite after its kind, every raven after its kind, owls, and the nighthawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after its kind, the little owl, the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swan, the pelicans, eagles, more eagles, gier eagles, the storks, herons, lapwings, bats, all fowls that creep, going up on all four, shall be an abomination to you. So all fowls that creep going up up on all fours shall be an abomination to you. Yet these may you eat. So here are the birds you can eat. Every flying, creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat. Locusts, bald locusts, beetles, grasshoppers. So this is, you notice in African countries that you see them eating beetles and grasshoppers and locusts and stuff like that. Is good. So the natural source of protein. Obviously, I live over in the Western Hemisphere, so I'll look upon that as being disgusting. And maybe I don't know anything about that, obviously. So when you see like people eating like chocolate covered grasshoppers, that's actually good. You can actually do it, even though we'd be like, yeah, it's disgusting, but it's actually, that's actually kosher food. Even even these are of them ye may eat. Or I already said that. But all other flying creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you, and for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever touches the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening. So even if you touch it, the Most High is saying that you're unclean, and until the evening, you wash off and you're unclean. The carcass of every beast which divideth the hoof, and is not cloven-footed, nor cheweth the cud, are unclean unto you. Every one that toucheth them shall be unclean. Whatsoever goeth upon his paws, we have paws now, not cloven foot, among all manners of beasts that go on all 4, those are unclean unto you. Whoso toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the evening. So we're talking about dogs and cats and wolves and canines and felines, pretty much. Those are unclean. They have paws. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the evening, and they are unclean unto you. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth. Okay, now we got weasels, mice, now we're talking about rodents, tortoise, what are those, amphibians, and after his kind, and the ferrets, chameleons, lizards, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole. All, you shouldn't be eating stuff like that. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever doth touch them when they be dead shall be unclean until the evening. And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, doeth fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood, raiment, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the evening, so it shall be cleansed. And every earthen vessel whereinto any them falleth, whatsoever it is shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean. And all drink that may be drunketh, every such vessel shall be unclean. And everything whereupon any part of their carcass fallen shall be unclean, whether it be oven or ranges for pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean unto you. Even if the carcass of it touch it, the Most High say this is unclean. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit wherein there is plenty of water shall be clean, but that which toucheth their carcass shall be unclean. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed which to be sown, it shall be clean. Okay, because it's just a seed, it hasn't sprouted yet. But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of the carcass fall therein, it shall be unclean to you. Now it's germinating, it may germinate, and now it's unclean. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, he that toucheth the carcass therefore shall be unclean to the evening. So you're supposed to kill your food when it's alive, not when it's dead. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean to the evening. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean to the evening. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination, it shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, anything that slithers, snakes, What else slithers? Snails. Uh, anything that you think is creeping. And whatsoever goeth upon all four, or whatsoever have more feet among all creeping things, will have more feet. And it's like centipedes and millipedes. All creeping things that creep upon the earth, them shall not eat, for they are an abomination. Ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye shall be defiled, because they're garbage disposals. They take care of all the garbage disposals. They're there for a reason. Arachnids, things like that. 8 legs. You know, roaches. What else? I don't know. For I am Yah, your power. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am Yah, that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt, or Mitzrayim, to be your power. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beasts, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. So the Most High set a set of rules and standards for Yasharallah, not for the world, but he's talking to Yasharallah, his people. It's like, these are the things. We know what those Gentiles out there are doing, but this is what you should do. And you are to set an example. And if somebody wants to follow you, that's great. But you are the people that he gave the laws, statutes, and commandments to. Alright, this is your boy, Yah's Chosen One, man. I hope you enjoyed that video. I'll get back at you on the next video. Shalom.